Hi, welcome to another Derek Does. Today, we're going to do this. Hi, welcome back again to Derek Does. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time, we do a lot of vintage guy stuff, and if it's your third or fourth time, thanks for coming back. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff, and I try to answer all questions I can that I know. But today we're going to do something a little newer than I normally do. And it's another industrial sewing machine, but it's one that I just picked up. And this one's probably, I guess, from the 70s or 80s. Normally my sewing machines, if you watch the channel, I usually get 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. That's kind of like my range. Maybe a 60s in there every once in a while, but generally it's the old black machines. But this little guy popped up and I just couldn't say no to it because it was just like perfect shape. This is a Wilcox and Gibbs 500 series /2. This is a 514/2/42. Now, the thing about Wilcox and Gibbs is they've been around for 150 plus years, but the newer stuff, I can't get information on it for some reason. I've been searching, I can find a manual that shows me how to thread it and how to fix stuff, but finding what this actual machine, what particular type of thing it was made for, I have not found. I found a 514/442, but this is a 514/2/42, so I haven't found that one exactly. This is a 2-needle overlock machine with 4 threads. It actually makes a really nice overlock. I just wish I knew what it was for before I got, if I was going to keep it, but it's not really, it's too new for me. I guess I need an old machine, not a new machine. But it's a really sweet machine. This is a local Denver machine, basically. I'm sure it was bought because it has a sticker from Pedco Industrial Sewing Machine in Denver. I looked them up and I cannot find them, so I'm thinking they're out of business because the only industrial sewing shop I know of in Denver is Ralph's, and they might have gone out of business maybe in the 90s or 2000s or something, but the machine was purchased new from them. It's in like mint shape. The story on this machine is I purchased it from the mother of a student who was going to a fashion school around here, and they used this to make all their fashion stuff, and apparently he didn't want it anymore and just left it at his mom's house, and she wanted to clear out the garage, and so I got it. And it came with everything that I'm going to show you. It's immaculate, really. It's like it's a brand new machine. It was never used in a commercial facility. The paint's perfect. Everything's just perfect. You can tell it just was not used. This is basically a home machine that somebody used to make, whatever the fashion thing they were making. But let's take a look at this machine. I'll show you what I know of it. Again, I've had one of these before, but not this particular style. It was a 5-thread. This is a 4-thread. The overlocks that I use are a 3-thread. So basically this has a safety stitch that goes next to it, but this particular one's really close, so it actually looks like it's built in to the overlock as opposed to the overlock plus a safety stitch. But I think this is adjustable, so you could actually move that. I was looking online a little bit on how you can adjust these. But let's take a look at this and I'll just kind of show you. And if you're in the Denver area, this will be available for sale because I am not going to keep this one, but I'm not going to ship this one because it's on the table and it's got the motor and it's got everything and it's all made for this machine, and I hate to break it up and just sell the machine unless someone makes me a crazy offer. But I think it'd be better just to buy the whole thing as is because it's original. So let's dive in and I'll show you. So here's the machine. It's in my garage. This is kind of where I left it so I could work on it to make sure. I didn't know if this thing even worked when I got it, but it works great. Comes with the original, I'm assuming the original to the era thread stand. It's a 4-thread. It's got these, how it's come out. It's very similar to every multiple thread stand you would see on an overlock. Has the classic 70s light, and it has a real light bulb in it, which I assume works. Maybe when the power's on, the light bulb could be broken. And here you can see the pet industrials on both parts of the machine. It's got the classic laminate tabletop, which is, again, mint. Has the YMC, or sorry, the WMC on and off with a matching WMC industrial machine motor, the classic feet and a K-legs, and then it has, the whole machine is lowered as opposed to just making a thing on top, and then has a lifter there that you can get to the machine. As you can see, the machine is just beautiful, really. From what I've seen of used machines, this is really nice. The paint's great on it. Nothing, you know, it's like new. But here you can see how it works. You have a knife here. You have your 2 needles. I don't know if we can see them or not. There you see. So you got 2 needles there that come in, and then you got the 4 tension. This is your tension on the foot up here. There we go. This opens up. Let me remember what the procedure on this was. So this lifts up to get in there, and also for threading. And then, let's see here, if I can remember. Oh, I got to lift this. The knife is, there we go. You got to lift that up because the knife was holding it down. There's your inside, and this has a classic, you know, pretty much all overlocks have a pull down, but this is super nice. Look at this. They actually give you the stitch type, and they show you how to thread it, which is so nice compared to like some of the older machines. When you get them, you really have to do quite the search to figure out, you know, where everything goes. And this one's already pre-laid out for you, shows you everything. It is already threaded up, and it makes a nice chain stitch, as you can see there, the overlock. And then I will actually show you the machine in action, but I just kind of want to show you overall. The machine's a lot bigger than it does. It's like an iceberg. Underneath it is deep, and here you can see it's a Wilcox and Gibbs 500 series, and then it's a Type 2, or 500/2, which is the Roman numeral, Type 514, Roman numeral 2, and then a 42. Right there's your oil. Tells you how much oil's in there, because this is a self-oiler machine. That's just little pieces of fabric. It's super nice, as you can really tell. So I'll put it back on the tripod, and I will show you some sewing. All right, we're going to turn it on, and I'm going to show you sewing. I've already done one little piece, just some scrap fabric, and let's raise it up, put our piece in there, and being this is a slow motor, you can go nice and slow. Even though this is a clutch motor, look how slow that is, and you can also just speed it up and rip through it if you want to, which is really nice, especially if you're like someone who's not, you know, it's not industrial. You can see there, that's the both sides of it. Makes a really nice, you can see the overlock there, and then here you can see the safety stitch right there. Let's try another piece of fabric. We'll try this piece. Put that together. Actually, that's already kind of put together. All right. Throw that right there. And this is just, I don't even know what fabric weight this is. It's not a very heavy weight. It'd be a shirt type weight. It just runs and runs and runs. The scissors that came with it aren't the best, but here you can see it does a really great job. And if we open that up, if you're going to do that, you would have, you know, you could even sew it together and actually use it as, you know, putting stuff together instead of just edging something. But it's really nice. Again, the thread, I'm not sure. It's a pretty thin thread. But you can just see it just goes and goes and goes. And you can just keep sewing and sewing and sewing on this thing. It's really nice. Obviously, the light is fixed up with the motor. So as that motor winds down, and that's actually a sign of a good motor, is when you turn it off, it's still spinning, even though there's no power to it. And if I hit the pedal, it would still sew, just so actually will stop it. That's still built into it, because that motor, even though there's no power to it, it's so well balanced. It's still spinning, and with the weight, you can still sew just a little bit. It's still finishing up. It's a good motor. So I would say that motor is pretty new. But again, here I'll show you. Again, there you go. Those are the stitches it was making. Really nice. What came with the machine also, which I'll throw in, and this is something that whenever you buy a machine, a lot of times you'll get a box of stuff. So always look for the box. If there's a drawer on the side of the machine, and if you're hauling a machine, if you're picking up a machine, always pull that drawer out and then just throw that and the machine in your car or your truck as you're going home, because there could be all sorts of goodies like there is in this box. And I'll show you kind of like all the goodies that came with this machine. Well, for starters, this still has the Wilcox and Gibbs dust cover for the machine. That is how nice this machine is. There's only been a couple machines that I've purchased that still had their dust covers that came with the machine, but it comes with that. Like, here's one box of needles, and you can see it's quite a bit of needles. It has just a whole bunch of just sewing needles. Those don't really go with the machine, but they're there. And then there's 20 needles in here that he bought from this PED manufacturing. These are apparently the machine takes 135 by 7, or at least that's what these are, which I'm not sure this machine takes that or not, but because I think this is more for a lock stitch machine. Size 16. Another pack, size 14 of needles. That's just some wool material we had in here. There's needles, or pins. You can always use pins. In the box, accessory sewing. Comes with what I'm assuming are all the little wrenches and such for this machine, plus some screws, various, there's a little ratchet thing for it, and then I'm assuming that goes with the machine if you need to adjust anything. That foam went in there. There's more needles. These are 16 by 230. I'm not sure, 231, what those go to. Here is see, some of this goes to like other machines too. It's like, obviously these bobbins do not go to this machine. I think these go to another machine. So I'm not going to give this. What I'll do is when I sell the machine, I'll put stuff in here that the new owner can actually use. Like there's sewing kits. There's always junk in these things. There's just, but there is, there's a little Phillips screwdriver, another screwdriver. I'm gonna have to figure out what needles this thing takes, and then I can put it in there. So there you go. This is the Wilcox and Gibbs. It's an overlock machine, a serger. They have different names. This is a 2-needle. It has a safety stitch, and then has your normal 3-thread overlock on it. This is the 500 series /2, which is a Roman numeral 2, and this particular one is a 514/2 Roman numeral /42. Again, if you know what this machine is made for, I don't think it's made for denim. I'm thinking it's more for shirting and that sort of thing, but I could be wrong. I'm sure you could, you could do part of the button fly or something like this on this machine. I'm sure denim could go through this fine. I see why you wouldn't. But I don't know if you could do the sides of a pair of denim once you get to that 4 layers of it. I don't know if it can handle 4. I don't know. Maybe it can. If you know, let me know, and I'll put it in the description. But if you're looking, if you're thinking about getting one of these, highly get one. Everything I've read says these are really great machines for the user. As when I say the user, I mean the actual operator. I guess they're really easy because they're easy to thread, they're easy to understand, and I don't think they break down very often. Even though they are more modern than my current ones, I think they're pretty nice. So this is the Wilcox and Gibbs overlock machine. Thought you guys might like to see what one is like. So this is it. I will see you on the next Derek Does.